Hello, welcome to the Booklog and Online Sales training video. In this video, we'll discuss our two most robust online sales interfaces. First, we'll discuss how Booklog interfaces with Timber, an e-commerce platform built by Herkimer Media. Then we'll show you how our IndieCommerce and e-commerce modules work together to allow you to integrate an IndieCommerce website with Booklog.
Booklog has several options that allow you to sell items online, including an export to Amazon. But there are two methods that allow you to post your inventory on a website and process the orders you get from that site. Both of these methods are paid interfaces. Our most robust e-commerce solution is with Timber. Booklog customers who have Timber websites work directly with Timber to customize their website, and orders and stock changes flow to and from Timber automatically and in near real time. Our other solution is with IndieCommerce. Customers who have IndieCommerce sites will use more than one interface to make sales happen. If you have an IndieCommerce site, you can send your inventory directly to the site using our IndieCommerce interface or through your Above the Treeline account. Then you can import your orders from IndieCommerce into Booklog using our e-commerce module.
Herkimer Media's Timber e-commerce platform provides you with a customized e-commerce site. They can build a new website based on your existing one, or they can build one from scratch at your direction. Once the site is up, it will connect directly to your Booklog database so it can process changes in near real time. Every 2 minutes, Timber syncs with your inventory to see if out-of-stock items are back in stock, or if any items that were in stock are sold out. During this sync, Timber will also deliver any new orders customers placed on your website. These orders will appear in Booklog as mail orders and include customer contact data like physical and email addresses. If you process credit cards through Booklog with a payment gateway like WorldPay or Point, then Booklog will also deliver a credit card token with the order so that you can charge the customer's card when you ship the items. To interface with Timber, you'll need to buy our Timber interface. You'll also need to choose a price schedule with Timber. For more information about Timber and to see examples of some Timber websites, please visit www.bookstorewebsoftware.com.
On Timber's website, you can find a list of features. See pricing. And visit other Timber websites.
When a Timber order downloads into Booklog, you'll find it in the mail order pick list. The order will appear automatically. You won't need to download it. But to find it, go to the Sales menu and click Mail Orders. The order will show up here and will include the customer's name and contact information, and an optional sales tax line item that shows how much tax accrued from this order. To process the order, you'll mark the item as shipped and enter a freight charge. If the order is a direct-to-home shipment, this DTH box will be checked. You'll also have the option to click it yourself. To finish the order, click Process and enter the customer's payment.
Like Booklog's interface with Timber, Booklog's interface with IndieCommerce allows you to display inventory on an e-commerce site and process customer orders. Unlike the Timber interfaces, these updates don't happen in real time, and the only items you can export are books, although it may be possible to send non-book items to IndieCommerce in the future. The interface with IndieCommerce is really two interfaces. One interface allows you to export your inventory to IndieCommerce, and the other interface allows you to import orders from your IndieCommerce website. Booklog has two interfaces that allow you to export your inventory to IndieCommerce. The first is our IndieCommerce interface, which is a paid module. With the IndieCommerce interface, you can export inventory directly to your website in a few clicks. The other option for exporting is the built-in interface with Above the Treeline, which comes free with Booklog. If you're currently using Above the Treeline, you can let Above the Treeline know that you would like to start displaying your inventory on an IndieCommerce website. Above the Treeline will contact IndieCommerce and set up the link between your Above the Treeline account and your IndieCommerce website. Then, each time you send files to Above the Treeline, any inventory changes you post will be reflected on your website. While relying on Above the Treeline to update your website inventory is free, it means your website won't be updated on your timeline. Once you send updates to Above the Treeline, you'll need to wait for both Above the Treeline and IndieCommerce to process those updates before they'll appear on your website. The IndieCommerce interface allows you to send those changes to IndieCommerce directly. You'll also need the e-commerce module, another paid interface, to import your web orders into Booklog. This module will import the order and customer data as a mail order, like Timber does. But unlike Timber, the order won't come in automatically. You'll need to download the orders from your website and then import them into Booklog. Your orders won't include any credit card data either, as when a customer orders items on an IndieCommerce site, they pay for it at the time they place the order. Although Booklog's interface with IndieCommerce is less robust than its Timber interface, it has its own advantages. IndieCommerce is sponsored by the American Booksellers Association, which makes it possible for customers in your area to find your site with a quick Google search for IndieCommerce. Also, your price schedule with IndieCommerce may be less expensive than it would be with Timber, although pricing in both instances depends on factors specific to your store. For more information on IndieCommerce, visit www.indiecommerce.org.
On IndieCommerce's website, you'll find a full list of features and information on pricing.
To activate your IndieCommerce export functionality, you'll need to either purchase Booklog's IndieCommerce interface or work with Above the Treeline. If you're planning on using Above the Treeline to update your website, let them know that you'd like them to connect to your IndieCommerce website. As you send updates to Above the Treeline, those updates will begin to appear on your site. If you're planning on purchasing the IndieCommerce interface, you'll need to let IndieCommerce know that you're working with Booklog and that you'll be sending inventory updates to IndieCommerce. Let them know that you need to activate the ABA POS integration for Booklog module on your website. You'll also need to tell them you need LSI upload via FTP. This will allow you to send exports directly to your site from Booklog. IndieCommerce will issue account credentials to you, and you'll need to enter those into Booklog. The IndieCommerce interface has its own add-in, which you'll find in the maintenance menu. If you're using Above the Treeline to do your website updates, you won't need to activate anything at all in Booklog. Once you've let Above the Treeline know to connect to your account and your IndieCommerce account website, you can just continue using the Above the Treeline interface, and any updates you send to Above the Treeline will show up on your site. You'll also need to purchase and activate the e-commerce module. To do this, you'll just need to enter an access key in the e-commerce module add-in.
If you purchase the IndieCommerce module to export inventory updates to your website, you'll have the capability to send your updates via FTP right to IndieCommerce. To do this, you'll go to the File menu and click Export. Then click IndieCommerce. Booklog will ask you to choose a department or category of books to send to your website. Remember, only books will be sent in these updates. You're able to specify a location for the items you're sending. This will help customers understand where the items are in your store and how you have categorized them. You're not required to send a location, but if you do, we would recommend choosing Send Department if you're sending item updates from the department level, and Send Category 1 if you're sending updates based on categories. We would also recommend sending the updates via FTP, which is a faster and more streamlined process than export to file only. If you export your updates to a file, you'll then need to upload that file to your IndieCommerce site. Once you're ready to send updates, click the Export button.
To process your web orders, you'll need to download them from your IndieCommerce website, then import them into Booklog with the e-commerce module. To get your orders, you'll need to go to your website and add /IndieCommerce -to-booklog/order/export to the end of your URL. IndieCommerce will combine all your unprocessed orders into a single text file for you to download. Once you've saved the file, go into Booklog and click the File menu. Choose Import and then E-commerce. Booklog will ask if you want to ignore the sales tax IndieCommerce calculated for your order. If you check this box, then Booklog will calculate your sales tax on the order for you, as it does in the register. If you do import the sales tax calculation from IndieCommerce, the sales tax will post a little differently than it normally would. If you check Consolidate Line Item Quantities, Booklog will look for any time in the order that a customer ordered the same item more than once and then combine them on the same line. This can make it easier for you to read the order once it's in Booklog. You also have the option to look up pricing from the current inventory. If you do this, you may find that the customer owes more money than they actually paid at the time they ordered the item, which means you'll have to seek the balance from them over the phone or when they come to pick up the order. Click the Process button and Booklog will ask you to browse to the file you downloaded. Click Open and Booklog will import the orders for you. These orders will be processed almost exactly like the orders would be from Timber, with a couple of exceptions. If the order is a direct-to-home order, it won't be flagged in Booklog as a direct-to-home order. IndieCommerce uses Ingram's Customer Direct Fulfillment program, which is a little different from their direct-to-home program because it has a different pricing schedule, and your invoicing for CDF orders comes through the ABA. You can still place the order as a direct-to-home order, though, by clicking the DTH box here. No credit card information will be transferred with this order the way it would be through Timber. Customers will have paid for the order when they were on your website, so when you process the mail order in Booklog, you should ring it up to a tender that won't expect you to authorize a credit card.
Thanks for joining us. We hope you found this helpful. If you did, and you would like to learn more about how to use some of Booklog's other functions, take a look at our YouTube channel. We have lots of free videos posted that you might find useful. Thanks again.